What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe with No Days Off DFS here to bring you that NBA slate breakdown for the 4-game. After a massive 10-game, we got 4 games today. 4-game NBA slate. And honestly, was there a slate yesterday? Because I don't believe that there was, man. For a 10-game slate, locking at 7:30, you should have known, like, literally something was just off in the world, period, when that was the lineup of what we had going on for the day. And then, of course, my slate locks, everything, all right, cool. Thought that all the injury news was good to go, but then, of course, Detroit still pulls some shit out their ass in regards to minute rotations. Quentin Grimes goes out there and plays 39 minutes. What happened to monitoring the minutes, Nick? What happened, Nick? What the happened, Nick? I can't. But, I mean, that right there, Trae Young getting the late scratch was like, oh, cool. My boy Keaton, he's going to get the start. He's played well inside the starts. It's a great matchup going up against the Pacers. Yeah, I can rock with that right there. Of course, I did say it inside the breakdown. Dyson Daniels, this is a boost for him as well because he'll also run the point. I ain't going to get too deep into it. I can't. But, man, oh, my gosh. Yep. Glad I played light yesterday. 10-game slate. That's where the crazy stuff can happen. And it did happen. It did. So definitely, hopefully, use bankroll management like myself. I ain't gonna lie. Your boy, a lot of snowflakes in my line. A lot of snowflakes in my line. 4-game slate. Ownership probably gonna be tight today, but we're still gonna figure it out. We're gonna still get it. If you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the content your boy drops over here on the channel. And drop a like on this video if this video or any of my other videos, content, something helps you guys win some money. If you guys would like to get my content and everything over here, then you can find it over here on the Patreon or on the YouTube post that I post over here underneath the membership tab. Either one of those spots, you can find all of my stuff. The only bonus is if you join up on the Patreon, you will get not only my stuff, but you get my boy BK as well, who also drops a lot of his women college basketball, unrivaled, and all that stuff over here on the Patreon. As you can see, a lot of my stuff was posted yesterday. Had a lot of stuff for you guys, but there we go. My boy BK, he dropped some stuff too. Again, you can get all that over here on YouTube as well for just my stuff, my content that I put out, my slate breakdown and all that stuff. It's over here for you guys. My builders and stuff, unfortunately, bad damn builder. KD just didn't want to rebound. Well, sorry, not rebound. KD, he went out there, went scorched earth. Scotty Barnes, just no playmaking at all. And then just, let me get off. I can't. Yesterday's slate was just so ass with everything, man. It was, looking at it, quick injury report. We got Brooklyn Nets taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yesterday, Cam Thomas was out. I expect for him to play today. Maybe we might see D'Angelo Russell be ruled out. Cameron Johnson himself, he might get ruled out, or we could just see some limited minutes for those guys right there. Because, of course, Brooklyn Shitters, they're not really playing for anything. Cleveland Cavaliers, no one's on the injury report as of right now. And you know what? Let's check and make sure they don't play tomorrow. So the Cavs not on the front end of a back-to-back or anything, so that's good for us right there. Washington Wizards played yesterday, going up against Detroit. Chris Middleton didn't play yesterday. I would expect for him to play today. Koulibaly, he left the game. I want to say it was a hand or some type of injury that he had. Came back and played. Maybe they could possibly sit him today. I do expect a lot of those guys that we saw arrested or pretty much out yesterday will probably be back today. Going up against Detroit, no news on their injury report right there, just Dayton Ivey, but we know that. Milwaukee Bucks, we already seen that Dame and Giannis are pretty much probable to play today, and I don't believe that they are on the front end of a back-to-back either. So, yep, we should get full squad over here for the Milwaukee Bucks going up against the Pacers. I would imagine that Halliburton, I keep saying it almost every breakdown and stuff, but hopefully Hallie is back today, considering that the game could be actually close, could be good. So hopefully we have Halliburton back today. The Pacers technically did just like throw in the towel halfway through the third quarter or something like that. So not too many minutes for the main starters and all that other stuff. So hopefully we do get Hallie here for this game. And then the late night hammer last game, the Clippers taking on the Pelicans. We pretty much got the injury news for both these teams. Ben Simmons looked like he's still doubtful to play. Norman Powell, he's still out. And then over there for the Pelicans, looks like Kelly Olynyk will be out as well. Right now, this projected lineup, I'm not too sure if it will be the actual lineup, considering that they were pretty comfortable playing Zion at that 3 spot. And over here at the power forward spot, they were running out like a big lineup. You got Carlo who could play right there besides Kelly Olynyk. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Carlo might get the start again right there if they still want to run out their big lineup. But this will be something that we want to pay attention to know for sure with that line. Head on over to DraftKings, the site to play the most on the site. If you guys don't got an account, you want one, check the link down in the description box below so you guys get that deposit match bonus and join your boy over here on the King. Now, I know I said for the Cavs, I will not play any Cavs guys outside of the guards, and I was talking about for props, things of that nature. But I will have to still, unfortunately, look at these guys in DFS and really decide, do I want to let my bias get in the way of possibly making some money? Yeah, I know. It's a good matchup. It's the Brooklyn Nets, especially the bigs, main guys I don't want to target. They should be able to go out here and do something. But on the Brooklyn Nets side of things, looking over here, if we got Cam Thomas back, I don't mind taking a stab at Cam. I mean, his minutes, they've been going up, 6,200. He can go out there and just light it up, knock down 10 of threes. Going up against the Cavs this season, he did play in the first game that they played versus them. 36 minutes, he dropped 31 fantasy points in that one. Outside of that, I really don't have any true interest in too many pieces over here. The Brooklyn Shitters last night, they played decent. We've got to see D'Lo now play back-to-back games of 29 minutes. So if I just really feel like he would be someone that's going to be limited, but 5,100 is very enticing for him. I don't mind taking the opposing guards going up against this Cavs team. I mean, shit, we just saw Dame go out here and drop 37 fantasy points in 35 minutes. I'm not going to say D'Lo is Damian Lillard, but he definitely can knock down some shots, things of that nature. I guess really for me, it would just have to still just be a Cam Thomas possibility. Maybe look at Nick Claxton if he can keep himself out of foul trouble. Played 31 minutes last night. Hopefully he wouldn't be someone that would be limited. We can maybe go there to that right there. And then, of course, the old faithfuls that I always will go to if I decide I want to play something over here from the Brooklyn Shitters, and that would be Zaire and Keon Johnson, who Keon actually had a really good game last night, 4,500, and he dropped 29.25 fantasy points. So can always look in that direction, but I'm just I'm very much just I'm not too sure. And also shout out to the Nets, man. Y'all won that game versus the Los Angeles Fakers, bro. Shout out to that. I'm gonna have to get a shirt that says that I'm a Lakers biggest hater. Over on the Cleveland Cavaliers side, like I said, the bigs, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, both these guys are prime in position to put up some pretty decent fantasy scores right here. We do know that Jared Allen used to play for the Brooklyn Shitters. So, you know, revenge narrative, if we want to believe into that right there. Versus them in 2 out of the 3 games versus them, he has dropped at least 30 fantasy points. Last game, he dropped 45 going up against them. If they decide to want to feed him, decide to want to go play through the big guys here, I can definitely see a world where we get both Jared Allen and Evan Mobley just giving us some really great fantasy upside. I would have to say I do like Jared Allen for the value that he brings and the upside that he should be able to have here over Evan Mobley for the price. That's where I would lean to between the two. Of course, Evan Mobley, he can break a slate if they decide maybe they want to limit Donovan Mitchell or shoot Darius Garland, just still can't figure out how to shoot. Then definitely we could see a big game for my boy Mobley as well. So, but either one of the bigs, I really do like them here in the spot. This should be pretty simple for them. The guards, they're there. 85, 71, but there's some, you know, I look at Dame, if Hallie plays, I like Hallie. Shoot, we got Harden going up against the Pacers. I'm not too interested in these guards over here, and that should tell you right there. If I'm not too interested, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other sharp people that are not going to like, yeah, you know what? Cleveland guards look good today. They're going to be low on. That'll more than likely be the spot where you can get different on the slate because everyone's going to focus on, you know, the other plays over there. Washington taking on Detroit. Poole. You know, Poole's back. Definitely can look towards Jordan Poole, even if everyone's going to be back for them. Last night, played 23 minutes, only 23.25 fantasy points. Really kind of just felt like he was limited in this game, that they weren't trying to, of course, quote unquote, win or whatnot. But oh, okay. So Koulibaly did not return versus him. I could have sworn I saw that he came back, or he must have just came back to the bench last night. But Koulibaly, if he's going to be out, then maybe that's going to give us Champagne in our life. Maybe they slide him into the starting lineup because they're not going to start Brogdon. They're not going to start Smart out there. That's just a fact. Carrington will still be out there starting. Keontae George will be out there. Sarr will be out there. Poole will be out there. So it would probably be Champagne that would get slid into the starting lineup if I had to imagine anyone over there. Definitely, they won't start Corey Kispert. They have not started Corey Kispert at all, which is kind of crazy. But Jordan Poole, if we don't think he's going to be limited here, we can definitely go to some Jordan Poole action going up against Detroit so far in the season. He's only played 1 game, 27 minutes, dropped 31 fantasy points in that one right there. So decent spot. I will say Sarr, that boy, he popped off last night. 30 minutes, 41.25 fantasy points. If he keeps that up, man, he's definitely forgot, like, he's a rookie. So there's a rookie of the year race. Completely forgot that was a thing for these guys because this rookie class was weak. If I'm being honest, just like honestly, just very weak. But Definitely Alex Sarr, if we think he could repeat back-to-back performances going out here, going up against Jalen Duren, who possibly could get himself in foul trouble. But first game going up against him, he played 24 minutes, didn't have the best fantasy outing. I think it was like 15 fantasy points in that one. Maybe he looks like he's in rhythm. That's the GPP stance you can take right there. But I would much prefer playing Jalen Duren on the flip side because he should be able to dominate here in this spot. With Koulibaly being out, definitely, of course, Buck Carrington can look there towards him. 26 minutes last night, 19.5 fantasy points. Hopefully he would get extended here in this spot. Definitely want to just pay attention to this injury news over here. And then Steady Freddy, they actually bumped up Chris Middleton finally. He's from that mid 5K range up to the 6K range. That to me is a bit too much in regards to a player that's going to legit play 24, 25, 26 minutes. Yeah, no. I'd rather just find some value somewhere else over there. Detroit side of things, Cade Cunningham, I don't have to talk about that. It's the Washington Wizards. If Cade's going to be out there and gets to play, if the Wizards somewhat keep this game close, then Cade will be able to pay off that 10-2. But of course, you got Dame, you got Giannis, you got Hallie, you got Zion, you get the picture. It's definitely got blowout written in this game all over the place. It's a 14-point spread, 234 total is the only thing going for this one right here. Definitely will probably get some auxiliary pieces instead of trying to pay up here for Cade Cunningham. Jalen Duren sitting at 6'6". That's a smash spot for him. He's balling out over his last couple games, and versus his Washington Wizards team, he played 18 minutes in one game versus in the one game they played 18 minutes. He dropped 28 fantasy points in that game. If he goes out there, he plays his normal 25, 30 minutes, and we've seen him play in 25 minutes, destroy and smash. Wouldn't mind getting there to him. Asar, this could be one of those games where I can see Asar going out there and getting a extended run. They recently came out and said he's off his minutes limit, but he's picked up some pretty heavy fouls in back-to-back games. So I'm not gonna really pay attention to this 18 and the 21 minutes right there, because I do think this could be one of those spots where he can get extended run just because it's a bunch of young guys out there running, going up against each other in that nature. So definitely looking at Asar. I like the upside for that right there at 5.5. That definitely will be a piece that I want to get because I do think he should get blowout run if the game wants to blow out. And then Tim Hardaway Jr., a weak defensive team, you know, we could definitely look towards that direction right there. That would be a play that makes some sense. But Jalen Duren, really the favorite play for me over there. And I can see getting different with paying up for Cade because I'm telling you, I don't see anyone really wanting to click on Cade Cunningham at 10-1 when you got Giannis, Dame, and Harden on the slate. Like there's just no way. That would be crazy to me. Milwaukee Bucks taking on Indy. Questionable tags, of course, but if Halliburton is in, and I imagine that he's going to actually be in this time because it's a 3-point spread, that tells me he should be in, which I was expecting the same thing for the yesterday because the spread was so close in that game. He should be back. He should be playing that. Please tell me I'm not wrong this time. But either way, Dame Dollar, guards going up against Indy. It's been a thing over these last couple games. Definitely a good spot. Giannis, they honestly have no one to be able to defend him and stop him from being able to go out there and do the things that he does. So either one of those guys, of course, you can pay up. Those would be prime studs that we could take on today's slate. Outside of that, Kyle Kuzma, they're at 6,200 price tag. He's kind of cooled off a little bit, not really giving us those big games like what he was when he first got over here to the Bucks. So kind of that honeymoon phase is over for them. Now, over here, I would say that Brook Lopez, 5,600 opposing centers. I could definitely possibly look in this direction versus the Pacers. He put up some decent games, at least giving us 25 plus fantasy points in there. But opposing centers, they've been cooking versus the Pacers over these last couple games. Zach Collins just dropped 30-75. Onyeka Okongwu back-to-back games, 44 and 51 fantasy points. Şengün dropped 44. If Lopez get it going from deep and he's getting a couple of rebounds and some blocks and stuff, he could definitely pay off that price tag at that 5,600. I don't mind that. Now, outside of that, off the bench, of course, Gary Trent Jr., this will be one of those games where I can see Gary Trent coming in and just lighting it up. He's going to at least play 20 minutes. It's just if that shot's falling and they really feeding him and he's getting it out there on the defensive side, this could be a big Gary Trent Jr. game. Then, of course, Kevin Porter Jr., I talked about it. The minutes, of course, they were going up. And then, what if it's so frustrating, but I really do feel like he should be a key rotation piece for them because he actually gives them something over here on the Bucks. Honestly, over here for the Bucks, man, it's going to be Giannis, it's going to be Dame. Those would be the main two I'd have to choose between. Of course, I would personally, if I'm going Giannis, then I'm looking at playing Harden or I'm looking at playing Cade. That's honestly where I would look at it. If I'm going Dame, then of course that means I'm probably playing Zion, Kawhi Leonard, or I'm playing one of the bigs or something like that. Besides Jalen Duren, playing one of the bigs from the Cavs game. That's kind of how I would pair up those studs like that. If you were trying to do something like that, that's where I see what makes sense. On the Indiana Pacers side, to be truthful, I need to get that news on if Hallie's going to actually be in or not, and we should have that news. I know 2 games start at 7. This game starts at 7:30, and then the late game starts at 8. So hopefully we will get that news again. If he's going to be out, then of course we will still go to Nembhard, who, like I said, didn't have to play his full allotment of minutes last night. Played 22 minutes, 21.75 fantasy points. Still put up a fantasy point per minute. I can still go right back to that. That's no problem right there. Neesmith, I could take that right there. Mathurin, he was actually put into the starting lineup. 23 minutes for him as well. Not a big night for him, but we can go right back there. I definitely don't hate that. And then Siakam, you would have to consider him. You would have to want to actually maybe possibly play him if Halliburton is going to be out. We can go there, but if Halliburton's in, he's definitely going to be a GPP choice, because I feel like nobody's going to want to click on that name and play him and be like, yo, he's come back from injury. There's no way he goes out here and he plays his normal allotment of minutes. No way. But if they actually let Mathurin get the start still, which would be cool, he has cooked versus the Bucks in both his games this season, dropping 39 and 41 fantasy points, but he started those games. He started them. So definitely interesting. I will be looking out for that, because if he starts, seems like he got a little vendetta going up against the Bucks that he does like to play versus them. Actually, in every game that he has started versus the Bucks, he's at least dropped 20 plus fantasy points. The first game that he played versus them, he dropped in 28 minutes, 21 fantasy points. But outside of that, 47, 49, 39 and 41 fantasy points. So it's something about playing the Bucks right there. Someone comment section, let me know what's the history right there. I might look it up myself so I can understand it too. Los Angeles Clippers taking on the Pelicans. Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Zubac. Of course, I mean, this is just an easy spot for all 3 of those guys. We can go there. It's so weird that Nicholas Batum is still in this league and he is starting games and playing a ton of minutes. Dirtiest value play right there on the slate, but if he's going to play power forwards versus the Pelicans, I'm going to have to look at it and I'm going to take it. I will say I have a lot of interest in Bogdanovich. I think this should be a game where he can get extended, get some run and get some burn and be able to pay off that 5K price tag. I love the upside, but of course, it's going to be the main 2 studs right here. Kawhi Leonard, if you're not going to play Harden, you're definitely looking at playing Kawhi. The minute limit is off. He's off the cap. And this should be one of those games, fast-paced environment, some defensive stats he can get. If he's able to get that shot falling and everything, give me some rebounds, he could definitely pay it off and just be explosive. Big Zoo, he's been on one over his last several games. Look at those last 4, 48, 41, 41, 57. Great spot for Big Zoo. Don't mind going right there to him. And outside of that, not going to really focus on anyone else over here. Really, Derrick Jones Jr. and all those guys, Chris Dunn, those are all GPP options at best, flyers that you're trying to take. For the Pelicans, I got to know what the starting lineup is going to be. I legit imagine, because they've been going big for so long, that Carlo is going to start and you still keep Zion at the 3. I would imagine that that's what it is. If Carlos starts, I do have some interest going up against Nick Batum. He could possibly be a decent spot right there. But of course, it is going to lie into the hands of Zion, just what he's going to be able to do. 9,200 price tag. He honestly has not paid that off since he's gotten bumped up to 92. If he was back down in this 8K range, giving me 42 fantasy points, I'd take that. But at 92, I'm expecting you to get closer to 50. You need to be on the other side of 45. You ain't getting that just yet. This is going to be a little bit of a tougher matchup, but if you can push the pace versus the Clippers, there's definitely some room for them to be able to go out here and have a good day and be able to give us a little something. So definitely pay attention to that right there. But Trey Murphy, CJ McCollum, you take a stab at either one of those guys. But I want to know who's going to actually be starting in this spot. If it is going to be Jordan Hawkins, I don't mind that. He's actually shown being a starter, just being out there as long as the shot's falling. He can give us a pretty good fantasy point outing, so I would take a stab at that. Jose Alvarado, depending on if they decide that they want to actually put CJ at the 2, if they want to let Jose start, I could definitely be inclined to want to go there, because do play some very good defense. He can get those stats right there for us, and that'll be a shoe-in right there. But main plays over here for me on the Pelicans, honestly, I would have to say I really do hope that maybe it would be Carlo, him getting a start. That would be someone I would have to focus on and look at. But Trey Murphy would be right there for me. 7-7, decent spot. Plays much better whenever he has everybody playing versus when he's just by himself. Yeah, I know he dropped 39.75 versus Memphis Grizzlies last game, but it took a lot for him to actually get there. So hopefully back in rhythm, 27 points in that game. Can do it again here. That would be really great to get that. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Hopefully you guys were able to get a little something from this right here. 4-game small slate. Same thing like yesterday. Bankroll management. We're not going to go too crazy on it just because it is a small one. good luck to you guys out there. Hopefully you all cash out, make some money. All my other information stuff is going to be coming up later on today. If you guys are looking for it, make sure you guys check the YouTube sub button. It's right there. Click that join right there next to the subscription. And the Patreon, if you're looking for not only my stuff, but BK, check that right there. Good luck to everybody. Peace.